Great Rising. I don't know who this is for, but somebody needs to hear. So, there was a time where my daughter was in gymnastics, and I mean, this girl was good. She could flip, honey, out the gym, past the parking lot, over the schools, past the dealerships. I mean, you name it. This girl, she could do any flip at the drop of a dime. Okay, and so one particular day we had to go and get a checkup for her, at the doctor. And so they do, the weight, measuring the height, check the spine and everything. And so he tells her she has a small curve in her lower back, and that she has a mild case of scoliosis or something. And I looked at him and I just started going off on him. I cussed him. I said, why the fuck would you tell her that? Because now she had fear on her face. She's like, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 years old. And I was like, Destiny, I was like, step out for a second. And he was like, what? He was like, what do you mean? I said, why the fuck would you say that to her? He's like, well, because she needed to hear it. And I said, no, she didn't. I said, that's a child. I said, you don't say certain things to her like that. And so we going back and forth. And he was nervous because, honey, it's certain things you just don't do to a woman and their children. And I respect the fact that he was a doctor and he's got certain expertise and all of that. But let me explain something to you. Nothing was wrong with her, right? But it hit her mental. And so she goes back to gymnastic practice, the next day, and now all of a sudden she can't flip. Oh, she can't do it. She can't do none of the tricks that she was, had been doing and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm like, Destiny, I said, listen here. I said, ain't nothing wrong with you. I said, you can do anything that you want to do. I said, you've been flipping, you've been jumping, you've been doing all of these things. I said, and you let one person tell you that something is wrong with you. Now all of a sudden you can't snap out of it. I'm like, get it together. So it took her probably a couple of days before I got her mental back to where it needed to be. And then she was back jumping and happy and flipping and all that other kind of stuff. And I say all of this to say, like, your mind, your body will do whatever your mind tells it to do. Whatever you think, whatever you feel, you're capable of doing it. And you have the capabilities of letting what someone says deter you, distract you, stop you, get you off track, but you can't let that bother you. Don't let somebody tell you something that you can't do or that something that is wrong with you. And I'm telling you, like, it was so powerful though that she was able to snap back out of it just like that. But the more amazing thing was just in that moment, just that little bit, like she's been succeeding, she's been doing all of these things, and then just somebody mentioning one thing, it just threw her totally off. And I'm here to tell somebody, hey, stop listening to other people, especially when you already been doing it. You can't take everybody's advice, and I get it. I respect doctors and their practice and their expertise and all of that. But sometimes doctors be out here screwing people up. They do, I promise you they do. And somebody, hey, you are as healthy as you want to be. You are as capable as you want to be. I love you. Trust the process. Pray through it. Praise through it. And and do what you need to do.